Hello and welcome to Tasting with Mike and Matt. I'm Mike Veach and this is my partner in crime, Matt Kohorst.
Howdy.
And today we are going to do something that I mentioned to Jody and Charlie Downs, Jody Filatro, it's a French name, and Charlie Downs out at Evan Williams. Went to the Evan Williams experience and when they introduced their new rye whiskey that they're doing there, that they made there. And they spent a lot of time talking about the fact that this is a different mash bill. It's a high-rye mash bill, which they're defining as high-rye is that they're using more rye than they do in their normal, which, you know, normally they use 51-52% rye to make Rittenhouse and Pikesville and all that. And then they use 63-64% in this new rye. So that's why it's a high rye in there,
Gotcha.
you know, which is a very legitimate way of doing it.
Sure.
If you read my blog on what is high rye whiskey, high rye bourbon, you know, I talk about that. You know, there is no legal definition.
Right.
So this is how they're defining it, and I give them credit that they're putting out there. This is how they're defining it. But they also spent a lot of time talking about the difference between the pot still and the column still in making their whiskey. And I told them, I said, that'd be nice to do a tasting between your rye made at the pot still, the Square 6 rye, and one of their normal rye. So we, you know, decided we're going to do that.
Yeah, this is exciting.
Yes. So we've got the Rittenhouse Rye, bottled and bond, 100 proof, versus the Square 6 Rye, which is a 95 proof. Rittenhouse is made at Burnham Distillery in their column still. The Square 6 is made with the small pot still that they're doing there at Evan Williams Bourbon Experience.
And that's right downtown Louisville, right?
Right downtown Louisville.
Yeah.
So, let's see what we got here. Let's start with some Rittenhouse.
Twist off cap that you like, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I've had some bourbons long enough now to where the cork is kind of falling apart a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the screw off top there's something to that, you know. Like
Yeah.
it looks fancier with the cork, but you know they fail, you know.
Yeah,
so.
they fail. And corks can have bacteria in them and it can cause your whiskey to go corked.
Ah, I see.
You see, so, you know, it's just better. Particularly if you're going to keep a whiskey for a long time.
Right.
Hopefully you got a screw cap bottle. If not, put your whiskey in a screw cap bottle. Got a nice nose. I mean, you know, I've always liked the Rittenhouse. It's got, you know, that ryegrass and lots of vanilla, little baking spices, a little oak. Not overly fruity.
Nope.
So I'll tell you what, let's do it side by side as we do this with the Square 6. So the Square 6.
You can smell that
Yeah.
rye.
You know, and you get the rye, you get that little bit of, you know, vanilla, maybe honey.
Smells maybe
I'm getting like
more complex.
Yeah, I'm getting some dried fruit. Just a hint of maybe some baking spices.
Baking spices, yeah.
And some oak. Very good nose.
Yep.
And I think a lot of that has to come with the fact that this was distilled on that pot still. Because, you know, he talks about that he distilled it at a lower proof than what they do at the column still.
The column still.
So you're bringing through more of the flavors of the original whiskey. Then this was aged for over 5 years on the middle floors of one of their warehouses
Okay.
down in Bardstown. So let's taste the Rittenhouse.
For like $25 rye, that's
Actually,
good stuff.
It's $30 now.
It's $30. Still pretty
Yeah.
decent for 30. Yeah, decent for 30.
Yeah, but evidently rye whiskey's taking off. Rye grain's getting harder to get.
Oh, that's right. I've heard that. Yeah. Buy it up while you can, right?
Yeah, so the price is going up. But yeah, I'm getting that vanilla. I'm getting a little bit of like apple,
Mm-hmm.
a little baking spice, a little oak. So let's try the square 6 now. Oh, that's really good.
It's really good. It's more vanilla.
More vanilla, and definitely the baking spice is cardamom.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Is that kind of like a citrusy kind of spice? Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you getting some dried fruits in there.
I get like dried apricot, maybe.
Dried apricot.
You get darker.
I'm leaning more towards like dates.
Dates. Mm.
But I could actually kind of see the apricot, particularly on the finish, because this is one of the big differences here is that you're getting a lot more of that feeling of that fruit lingering into your
Mm-hmm.
palate and such.
Sure.
And it's got a thicker mouthfeel. It
does,
it feels chewy. And I think that
Sticks around.
And I think that's that pot still.
Right.
Because you get more of the essential oils and things come through in a pot still than you will in a column still.
Why is that?
It's just the nature of way they do it. A column still is a continuous process, so you're always getting it in and bringing the alcohol off at a certain temperatures where you want to do it and such.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes a very clean spirit when you do that. The pot still, you start getting the heads, so you don't really have a heads and tails necessarily in the column still because the heads are being refluxed back in and there's a lot of things, but it's just coming out at one temperature,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where you're getting it. And then you cut your heads and tails when you double it, and your pot still doubler.
Oh, okay.
And
Hey man, it works.
it works.
It's nice. Yeah, it's very nice.
So that's really nice. So let's try them both with cranberry. Let's try the Rittenhouse to start with. Oh, that's good with the cranberry.
It actually brings out some fruit for me, like a
Yeah.
ripe apple.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It makes it a little bit more fruity in that it is like a ripe apple or maybe a little date.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes sense because it's the same yeast in both of them.
Mm-hmm.
So the Heaven Hill yeast. So you're gonna get a lot of the same.
Kind of notes.
You're gonna get a lot of the flavors from the yeast are gonna be fairly similar.
Yeah.
But this has got a really nice finish. Even just maybe a little hint of chocolate there on the finish.
Very good.
So let's try the square 6 with the cranberry. That's really good. That's
Yeah,
it really enhances that cardamom,
mm-hmm.
and the finish is just like, you know, oak, vanilla, and that cardamom.
Mm-hmm.
Just like really good.
Yeah. Very rich.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's try it with the pecan. Oh, that really brings out the chocolate in that Rittenhouse, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's very nice.
Yeah.
Milk chocolate. Yeah, a little bit of.
Definitely cardamom.
Mm-hmm. Definitely cardamom. So yeah, very similar kind of flavoring
Yeah.
going on. Maybe a hint less, you know,
Yeah.
like from what I was getting from the Square Six.
So let's try the square six with the pecan. That's good.
It's good. It takes everything and just heightens it. It's richer. It's
Yeah.
oily, and you know, and yeah, like I'm almost getting dark chocolate with that.
Yeah.
And then like even a nice hazelnuttiness to it. It almost is like a really like hazelnut coffee with dark chocolate notes in it for
Yeah.
me. Like it's very good.
I can see that, except for I would also say it's got a little bit of a hint of that dark dried fruit
Mm-hmm.
as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great fall drink. That really warms up the belly.
Yeah. Well, let's see what it does with the piece of chocolate. See how that goes with the Rittenhouse.
Apple.
Yeah.
A lot of apple there. Yeah. Almost like apple and maple syrup.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's tasty. That's really good.
Mhm.
That might be my favorite.
Yeah.
The Rittenhouse.
The Rittenhouse is really good whiskey anyway, and then
Mm-hmm.
you know,
All right.
so. Let's try the square six with it. Oh wow, that's good.
Mm-hmm. It's like.
You get it actually brings out even more of that rye grassiness,
Mm-hmm.
which I know you like.
Oh yeah, I do like that.
I like
spicy ryegrass. Yeah.
And then you get that dates and raisin.
Raisins.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like it turns it to like caramelly.
Yeah.
For me. Nice oak finish
Yeah.
with still that ryegrass spice kind of lingering back here. It's really exceptional stuff, I think. You know.
Yeah.
Now, for these ones, so we get $30 for Rittenhouse. Do we know how much the West Six Rye is going for?
The suggested retail price, I believe, is $80.
$80, and you can only get it at the distillery. Is that correct?
That might be true. Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I know like the first Square Six they put out, you could only get it there, and I think it sold out pretty fast. So.
Yeah. Then they had trouble getting bottles in.
Oh yeah. Oh, no.
You know, so they've got more of the bourbon now.
Good. Awesome.
You know, but you know, with the pandemic and everything.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, they're doing it right there. I think there's something to the pot still.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a pot still between the pot still and the High-Rye rye, as they call it.
Mm-hmm.
It's done. They've done really well.
They got a winner there. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So Jody and Charlie Downs was the distiller when they first put this together, 5 years ago, and he's since retired. Now Jody is the master distiller there, and they're both very talented distillers.
Yeah. Tastes like
And
it.
this is really good. So keep it
Cheers.
up. Cheers.